Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining our Ankr and Crypto.com live video AMA today. My name is Tina, and I am the General Manager for the UK at Crypto.com, and I'm delighted to be your host for today's live stream. The next phase of the internet is based on distributed networks, which make the new generation of platforms, applications, and services more private, secure, reliable, and censorship resistant. By cutting out intermediaries and gatekeepers, builders and users gain back control over their applications and their data. Ankr is striving to improve user experience, streamline processes, and reduce costs for everyone to participate in Web3 technologies. They enable easy access to an array of blockchains and provide users with the ability to deploy staking nodes as well as developer nodes in minutes. I'm delighted today to be joined by Ankr's CEO and co-founder, Chandler Song. Hi, Chandler. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey guys, nice to meet you guys. I want to say before everything, actually, congratulations on the 10 million users.
Thank you.
That was quite an achievement for you guys, and it's definitely one of the most important steps to take crypto to mainstream. So congratulations, and happy to be working with all of the partners in the space. To continuously improve this piece of technology and then, try to bring it to the mass population.
Oh, Chandler, thank you so much. Yeah, I think both of our missions and visions are really to bring this technology and all of the opportunities that it brings to as many people as possible. We're doing it in different ways, but thanks very much for that. And really excited to talk about all the things that are happening at Ankr because you guys are absolutely killing it as well.
Oh, thank you. I mean, we are definitely, we always consider ourselves as, one of the builders in the space. We started out back in, it's just a little bit introduction. We started out in late 2017, rode it with a bull market, and then experienced a very long, 3-year bear market, being constantly and tirelessly building.
Yeah.
We did have pivots sometimes, but I think it was actually in 2020 with the entire DeFi summer that we were able to find our product market fit. Mm-hmm. And in 2021 with all the craziness a little bit, I guess, going on, but I think we're still very heads down building stuff. We actually have a very concrete roadmap for 2021 beyond. And just very, very focused on bringing users what we do best, right? And then just show the outside world what this space can achieve.
Absolutely. Well, so let's start off with a little bit about you. So you're the co-founder. What drove you and your co-founders to develop Ankr, and where does the name come from?
Yeah. So I was actually I pretty much started Ankr fresh out of college. So I did have a technical background in computer science, mm-hmm. But I got to know Bitcoin about in 2015.
Okay.
I think pretty much right now everybody in the space who joined crypto relatively early would say that, but I'm gonna say that anyway because it was true.
Yeah.
But started out knowing a little bit about Bitcoin. Learn a little bit about mining, how mining works, and then later on started with experiencing CryptoKitties, Ethereum-based applications. Back then, everybody was focusing on the app, and I had some experience working in Amazon Web Service, right? Basically, the largest infrastructure company in the world. Mm-hmm. So from the get-go, we wanted to build an infrastructure company, right? We want to find our niche space, providing infrastructure for the crypto space.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of people. I think Amazon Web Service is of course a general purpose infrastructure company, but there are people providing infrastructure for the gaming industry, providing for the healthcare industry, And we wanted to do that with the crypto industry because we thought infrastructure in the crypto space was a little bit different.
Okay.
It required a lot of networks, different setups with different networks and different architectures.
Yeah.
So originally we wanted to use token incentives. We want to leverage some of the I don't want to cover too much about this because we're way past that point. But originally we wanted to start a truly distributed global cloud computing platform. But the problem was that we were still facing with a lot of early adoption issue. Like some of the technology weren't really ready.
Of course, yeah.
And so back in, I guess, like 2020, late 2018, early 2019, we actually started to get into the node infrastructure business, right? We thought, at the heart of the crypto infrastructure, it was all about node infrastructure and how each validators, delegators, back then, I think the two largest POS networks were Cosmos and Tezos. So started with that, and later on we saw people deploying nodes for Algorand and stuff like that, and then later on we see Ethereum and all of those public blockchains launching, right? So the entire infrastructure space is definitely blossoming. And we were originally providing staking services and node infrastructure for a lot of the public blockchains for VC funds who have a lot of stakes in those tokens and who are looking to staking services. So that was like our original, like early business. And, we really changed a lot, and it was really like expanding beyond what we had. So in 2020, the entire DeFi summer really like opened our eyes. Like back in late 2019, actually, I was in my office in San Francisco, and then we had a bunch of friends coming to our office talking about like Yearn.finance. So Yearn actually launched in late 2019. Back then, nobody was even paying attention to that. And obviously, I saw a little bit of opportunity. I think, DeFi will be the first massive adoption on Ethereum, and that requires a lot of infrastructure space. So, we started to provide Ethereum API, for developers, especially for layer one. We started to offer archive node. We started to offer, staking services and also API access to more chains. And then later on, we thought, hey, look, if lending and all of those applications can be, DeFi, why not we bring in incentives in a community-driven way to the infrastructure side, right? So that's why, it started, I think, starting in June in 2020, we started to work on a new effort, which is we back then we called it Staker,
right?
And it's spelled STKR, but later it was rebranded to StakeFi. But that's another story. So Staker was focused on bringing a node marketplace for basically everything Web3 infrastructure based, right? And our first application was for staking for Ethereum 2.0. We saw the massive opportunity because Ethereum 2.0 is a multi-year long process that required, nonstop validation for the Ethereum 2.0 beacon chain nodes. And we thought that was an opportunity because the Ethereum, one of the largest POS network to be, and there are problems because not everybody had 32 Ethereum, right? Back then, I think Ethereum price was like $400.
Yeah,
right?
about that.
So that was like $13,000, something like that. But right now, with like a $1,500 or $2,000 Ethereum, that's like a lot of money.
Yep.
not everybody was able to start their own nodes, stake the full 32 Ethereum. So we thought, we want to make this a decentralized pool, right, where everybody can contribute smaller amount of Ethereum, 1 ETH, or even 0.5 ETH, you can join the pool, you can enjoy the yield, you can be a part of it. Right?
Okay.
So
well, we have some really specific questions from the
oh,
community.
sorry, I didn't know you have questions, but
I do. Yeah, we definitely we have quite a few from the community. So I think if before you get into each of those, let's go maybe give people a little bit more context for the entire kind of space that is Ankr, because you guys do quite a number of things. So you mentioned the Ethereum 2.0 mainnet launch on Staker, the Staker platform itself. You've been listed on a number of global exchanges recently, including crypto.com. And basically, as you've kind of given us the whistle stop tour, 2020 was just a huge, huge year for Staker. So I wanted to actually start with your enterprise business, because this is part of kind of the pivot, but you still have quite a lot of experience in that infrastructure space at that kind of enterprise institutional grade level. So how much of Ankr's activities are focused on the enterprise adoption, so kind of growing the community, versus the more kind of bespoke projects that you have around, let's say, the staking or validator node space? What's kind of the balance?
Okay, interesting. So I would say so far, if you're talking about like enterprise, there's really like, when I think of enterprise, it's really like companies beyond like 10,000 employees. That's what I call enterprise.
Right.
So I think yes, we are serving some of the most important protocols. We're serving like we're providing a API for Compound.
Okay.
Working with Balancer, working with Covalent, working with like a lot of protocols. We are also serving some of the data analytics companies. I don't want to disclose some of our client list just for their privacy, but we do serve close to 200 to 250. I would say startup or like companies or builders or organizations in the crypto space, right? And then we're also serving some like 20 to 30 VC funds who are doing staking with us.
Awesome.
And that's basically like I would say like business, like business side of the things.
Okay.
It is revenue generating. It is profitable. So I would say like, for Ankr, it's really like doing two business lines at the same time. One is like more of a centralized managed service, which, right. I think it's practically very important, right? Not everything should be decentralized. Somebody wants to have the management of a system that they still feel comfortable using from a traditional world standpoint. Mm-hmm. And I think that is important. I think that is one way to bridge the so-called enterprise to the crypto world.
Indeed. Yeah.
Yes. So that's that. And then we have the DeFi, I would say department where we focus, on all the staking efforts in a decentralized way. We try to have a governance, have a DAO structure, and then we're trying to. I'm going to cover what's more to come on the DeFi department, maybe in the later questions you might have. But yeah, I would say between these two departments, it's like an even split.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about the Ankr staking product itself. Tell us about the services that are offered there. And in particular, we had a question around the staker threshold key management system. And what problem does it solve and what are its key features? So, go ahead and go deep around Ankr staking.
Okay, so you're talking about the DeFi part, right?
Yes.
Yes.
DeFi,
so, like I said, started out in last June. Really, and the idea started from March, but the engineering kicked in starting June. Worked pretty fast, and was able to. I actually surprisingly, I actually want to interrupt this a little bit. One thing that I'm really proud of our team is like all of our product has never been hacked. so many people try to hack us. I know in the DeFi space, some of the protocols are very prone to attacks, and we have had so many attack attempts in the history of Ankr. We've never been attacked.
That's amazing. That's great.
So,
well, it's a testament to the security and the platform itself. I mean, obviously, it's built well and managed well.
Yeah. So back to the staking product. So two barriers that I personally saw. Right. One is the large barrier, the financial barrier for people to actually participate in staking. Right.
Yeah.
The second thing is there's no staking liquidity. Right. Once they stake into the protocol, it's a multi-year lockup. It's not for everybody. Like some people might have the patience. Like personally, for me, I'm okay with allocating like part of my Ethereum into the staking pool and just run there for good. I'm okay with it. But some people might not have the patience. We're totally fine. Like we're dealing with the whole population again, right? So what Staker is trying to solve, right? We allow, like I just said, less than 1 Ethereum to stake. You can start out with 0.5 Ethereum. That's one. The second thing is we have this amazing staking derivative. We call it staking derivatives. AETH. Some people call it Ankr ETH. This Ankr ETH is actually the full name is Ankr Reward Bearing Ethereum Bond. Why do we call it bond? Because eventually, after 2 years, after the Beacon Chain node withdrawal is enabled, you're actually able to claim all of your underlying Ethereum plus your entire staking rewards during that duration. So, it is reward bearing. It is, to me, comparing to some of the financial products in the traditional world, it's a little bit like a corporate bond. It's like a fixed income financial products for the crypto space, right? So that is the bond part. And then we recently launched the FETH, which we call Futures ETH. That one is actually a little bit more straightforward. It's not reward bearing. It's basically, you stake your Ethereum. Say today you stake 30 Ethereum, and then you immediately get 30 FETH. The FETH will forever be one-to-one pegged to the real Ethereum. There's no reward bearing. So that means once you sell it, you are no longer having interest in this protocol.
Right. Well, recently the Ankr ETH has been trading just under the ETH price, and recently overtook ETH for a period of time. What do you think the main drivers of that increase were?
So I think ultimately it's a free market, right? Even though like on the mathematical base, the price of AETH should always be slightly higher than the Ethereum. Some people sell, and then there are arbitrage opportunity for sure, right? For example, if today AETH is trading at 0.95 Ethereum, that is actually a great arbitrage opportunity for traders, because eventually they're for sure to get 1.1 Ethereum.
Okay.
So that's that. And the second thing is we have been increasing, or helping improve the Ethereum, so the Ethereum liquidity since day one, right? So not only are we like helping Ethereum to list on centralized exchange, but also working with different DeFi protocols. So we've got pools on SnowSwap, on Curve.finance, not Curve.fi, on SushiSwap's Onsen pools, on various different DeFi initiatives. Even like Wi-Fi is including a Ankr Curve pool yield. Nice. So as part of their strategies. So overall, actually we did a rough calculation. If a person who deposit 1 Ethereum back in late November, and then if that person was smart enough, his Ethereum would have doubled up.
Incredible.
Right.
Well, so we talked about the two synthetic products or assets rather, and members of the community have kind of asked about what the difference is between the synthetic Ankr tokens and the Ankr token itself, the original. So is the Ankr token a governance token? And if yes, how is the voting power allocated?
Yeah, so we launched the governance board not too long ago, right? So we do have some plans. I think when we're talking about governance, you can't just throw like a vote, like a voting board out there and then say it's a governance, right? Eventually, like Ankr is looking to onboard more governors and more investors in the space, and then trying to build this governance ecosystem to help improve this protocol. But at the same time, Ankr is not only a governance token, but also a insurance deposit for providers. Please note that we as the Ankr company actually do not run all the nodes for staker. So we are of course a very important contributor to the provider community, but we actually surprisingly have over 150 developers or infrastructure partners helping provide Ethereum node infrastructure for staker.
Brilliant. Yeah, well, that's a decentralized.
So in order for them to give users a comfortable feeling, they must stake a certain amount of Ethereum, like lock up some of their Ethereum or stake some Ankr tokens as their staking insurance.
Okay. All right. So let's move on to collaboration and partnerships, which you guys have really been killing it. They're the cornerstone of making DeFi widespread. What are some of the recent partnerships you've formed that you're especially proud
of? Can you repeat the question again? Sorry.
Yeah, so collaborations. Ankr does quite a few collaborations to help kind of extend and grow the ecosystem and the community. So what are some of the most recent collaborations that that you've worked on?
Yeah, I mean, really a lot. I guess this would definitely entail some of the future plans, right? So definitely a lot of partners in DeFi, like Curve, like I just mentioned.
Yeah.
Sushi, Compound and Balance, they're all partners. That's on the DeFi side. On the I would say we're actually also partnering up with some of the layer 2 technologies, right? Okay. We're partnering up with Off-Chain Labs, who are the builders behind the Arbitrum technology. We're trying to provide layer 2 infrastructure to scale Ethereum, to help scale all of those DeFi projects. And apparently, I think that's one of the most important steps that we will make as a company, as a team. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, the community is really interested in Ankr's involvement in the Polkadot ecosystem. What can we expect to see happen for the first half of 2021? For example, will the Ankr token be able to be used for the new synthetic assets that on the DOT parachains?
Yeah, so we are definitely supporting Polkadot launch. We're supporting Kusama launch. We're supporting pretty much all the parachains launch. People can run nodes with us. People can query data. But I don't think, I haven't seen that developer demand for Polkadot APIs yet. But I expect that to take off soon. Yeah. But on the nodes and staking side, we'll basically support all the developer nodes and staking nodes for those parachains at launch. So that's pretty much our involvement with Polkadot. But at the same time, we're with some of our capabilities of our products. People can build like cross-chain wallets. People can build cross-chain DeFi in all possibilities, basically.
Awesome. Another member of our community says that they're planning to run an LTO node. Can you explain how Ankr can help them deploy it more easily?
So right now, I believe, of course, we have a lot of product offering. I'm not probably not day to day on this,
Okay.
but we do support LTO. Should be just like with some simple clicks of button.
Okay.
Should work. It's currently live and available on Ankr.com.
Great. Okay, so go to Ankr.com and search for LTO. So is Ankr planning on making their source code open source in the future?
Yeah, we actually already open sourced, many parts of our technologies, right? So like I said, two parts of the companies. One is like the proprietary, one is more of a DeFi collaboratives, right? So all of the smart contract is open sourced. We open source some of the developer side of the things, right? So how a developer can run a certain executable in our sidecar, right? We really have a really I would say amazing sidecar technology where we as the governance can jointly vote for the executable supported in the sidecar, right? So for example, right now we support Ethereum 2.0 nodes, but people can also actually run. We might also support Polkadot staking, right? We might also support other staking. People can run Polkadot nodes in the sidecar that we provide. And so, but it can be done through the governance, if we want to support that.
Awesome. Okay. So getting into the roadmap, before we do that, because I know you have a lot of exciting things to tell us about, just looking back over the last 3 years, you mentioned to pivot, all of the learnings that you've had, and, as a proud CEO, what do you think over the last 3 years has been kind of your biggest achievement? What are you most proud of?
Yeah, I mean, I'm never proud. I think I'm not a person with a lot of ego, and I think what we are building now is like, we're just part of it. And but what I'm most proud of is like to really be meeting my team members first of all, right? Meeting some of the greatest minds in the world, especially people specializing in like community building, people specializing in economic designs, people specializing in building really cool products, whether it's on the engineering side or design side. I am very fortunate enough to meet all of those people, to get to know them. I think that's one of quite a fortune for me. In terms of one thing I'm really proud is like we never really gave up. I guess I think I recently I've been on Clubhouse for some time. I was actually hearing. I was actually talking with some of the founders, right? And they actually share all the similar experience. I remember like Stani from Aave. Came from synthetics. I think they started out really like grassroots, and then really like they really get focused on their own product building, and then they really have their own belief system that what they are building is going to work, and that actually applies to me as well, right? I always believe, I always have this belief system that this is going to work. And no matter what the market condition is.
Well, and having the perseverance, I think, or the conviction when you are in such a nascent space. So, crypto is relatively new, over, if you're looking at finance, for example, over, tens and hundreds of years of money, cryptocurrency is new. And then you add into that mix all of the opportunities and possibilities of DeFi. I know Stani quite well. And I think, 3 years ago when some of these ideas were being discussed, it sounded a bit like, DeFi was this, mad scientist experiment, and having the perseverance to stick with your idea and knowing that you kind of have the conviction that it's going to work, I think is a testament, but also difficult, right? I can imagine that it's hard to stay the course when you're early.
Yeah, and I think one of the, I guess, the hardship being a founder in the crypto, sometimes I get very emotional about this. Is you get a lot of doubts even from your family and friends, right? Because when the market drops, people think, the entire Bitcoin thing is a scam, right?
Yeah.
And then why are you even doing this?
Mm-hmm.
So I have never had any doubts, right? Because I chose this, I'm going to keep doing this. And then I am always the evangelist convincing all my friends that this is one of the best industries. And then this is innovative enough to bring innovations and products and usefulness to the human being.
I could not agree with you more. So understanding that experience that you've had, what do you foresee is going to be the most challenging issue that blockchain founders like you are going to have to overcome within the next, 3 years, let's say?
3 years. So for me, I experienced 2 bull markets and 2 bear markets. Right. I'm seeing a lot of founders like rushing into the space because, oh wow, suddenly Bitcoin is like 60,000. And then I just feel like, I'm not really a fan of like all of these like GameStop or like Wall Street bets, right? It's just that I think people started to trade during the pandemic, and then they were able to earn money too easily, I guess. Yeah. And when the market turns red, it's gonna hurt them a lot.
Yeah.
So always, for like my advice for like future founders is always to develop your belief system, right? Are you here just to get a quick buck, or are you here for the long run and then trying to build something meaningful while bringing your fortune as well? I'm just going to be very honest.
No, I think that's great advice. Yeah. Okay. So what's next for Ankr? What exciting things are on your roadmap that we can look forward to? I know you guys are doing that a lot.
Just constantly talking with like people in the space, right? In the DeFi world, in the NFT world. Like for me, I really don't have a lot of time, like just like looking at those stuff. I try to learn a lot every day. Every day there are new protocols popping up. There are new concepts. I try to keep up with all the things going on in space. So over the past, I would say 2 months, we spent a lot of time, brainstorming internally and also externally with other teams. So we really want to go cross-chain.
Okay.
I think that is the future.
I agree. Yeah.
I think, of course, Ethereum will be like the premier chain for processing large transactions, right? So we see some problems with Ethereum. Ethereum is great. Ethereum is the greatest blockchain, but it has some problems. The gas fee, the transaction speed, and all that. And I think moving forward, Ethereum will be the default chain for processing large transactions. Say if you want to do a cross-border, like 10 million, 100 million transactions, you can very easily use Ethereum. But it's not for like very frequent traders.
Yeah.
Or spending like I've heard like hundreds of thousands of gas fee. So there are going to be layer 2 solutions. Like I said, layer 2 solutions is basically building another blockchain architecture on top of Ethereum or leveraging Ethereum. And then there are parachains, right? The Polkadot ecosystem. Trying to bridge, assets, right? So I think parachain is really built for helping Ethereum with minting assets on different chains. So, and then there are, people like Solana, right? Solana, it's really, they really got support from Sam. I think, It will have some great use cases for trading and all that stuff. And we also see like Avalanche, they have a 3-chain kind of architecture. It's actually very innovative, and I don't dismiss anything. I think anything is great. And also, I want to mention a little bit about Binance Smart Chain. Binance Smart Chain, although a little bit centralized, but it's a great technology. It's a fork of Ethereum for sure. There's nothing really innovative about the chain part, but what's innovative is the concept of how can we integrate Ethereum, how can we integrate a blockchain to a centralized system, right? Because eventually we would want to build, blockchains with the banking system, with your personal finance app, and that is actually one good experiment to start with, right? So back to what we want to build, right? So we want to be cross-chain. We want to support and access all of those liquidity. We want to be the default, kind of the fixed rate protocol where people deposit any kind of tokens to Ankr. For example, today I deposit some Solana tokens for staking. Okay. And then it's not only generating a fixed income yield for them based on the Solana inflation, but also you can use that certificate, staking derivative, to play around with other DeFis in other platforms. So I think that's going to be very helpful, right? So not everybody can be farming all day, to be honest. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, Ankr wants to serve as more of a, I guess, like a central bank or like a corporate bond issuer for the crypto industry. That's what we do. We really try to conceptualize this, and I think this is quite an accurate description.
Cool. That sounds really great. Listen, it's been such a pleasure to speak to you, Chandler. You've got so much going on. And I, am predicting that 2021 is going to be a big year for you. If people want to learn more about Ankr, how can they get in touch with you? Would you want them to follow you on Twitter? Your website?
They can, I think I was not a very active Twitter user, but recently, I started to use it a little bit more often. So you guys can follow my Twitter.
Okay.
It's Chandler SYF. Yes, you see it on the screen.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty much also reachable. My Twitter. I pretty much check like maybe every 1 hour, 2 hours. Okay. I'm also reachable on Telegram. I'm one of the admins in the Ankr group. But yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So if you guys want to talk to Chandler, definitely join that Ankr Telegram group. And Clubhouse, it sounds like you've been jumping on Clubhouse. Can we follow you there and find you?
Yeah. So my Clubhouse is just my initials, which is SYF. So my Clubhouse, I actually do speak a lot on Clubhouse.
But right? It's nice to be able to actually just talk it out with somebody.
Yeah, I know, right? And it's kind of like if you feel awkward not speaking, because sometimes some of the topics I'm really not comfortable talking about, I can just chat in, just listen to it. So
yeah. Oh, I agree. Totally. Okay. So again, it was great to have you join us today. This AMA will be available for replay, so share it with your friends. It'll be on our YouTube channel after we've completed. Remember that we have at crypto.com on your crypto.com app, if you purchase $100 or more of Bitcoin before the 8th of March, you'll be entered into a drawing to win one of 4 Teslas. So that's cool. If you're stacking sats, make sure you get on that deal. And to stay informed of upcoming MBAs, upcoming AMAs, follow us at Crypto.com on Twitter and our official Telegram channels. So Chandler, thanks again for joining us. And I look forward to watching Ankr kill it in 2021.
Thank you so much. And you guys are killing it too.
Thanks. Yeah, it's good.
Congrats
Well,
again.
may this bull run continue.
Yeah, for sure. Sounds good.
All
Thank